I was showing kneading here at the festival. We're here at the Armazem at the festival center, and I was presenting kneading yesterday and also tonight. I'm a Swedish-Dutch choreographer living in Berlin.
Yes. And could you describe a little bit the piece, or because I think it's quite interesting, the movement approach and many things that I saw there. So what are you trying to investigate, put it that way?
It's a piece, I would say the performance is, we're trying to work with the different spaces of the body and the different spaces that the body can be in and how these spaces affect each other.
Okay.
So for me the piece has a lot to do with what is inside the body, what is outside the body, what is the body, and how do these things interact with each other. How does my psyche affect how I move? How does my environment affect how I express myself? But in a very, very abstract way, actually, through movement.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way, also it's kind of I imagine as a choreography, the structure improvisation that the dancers, the three dancers, explore, let's say in real time, some of your ideas or your images.
Yeah, the live, we call it practice. We don't call it improvisation because it's a very, very rigorous framing of an activity that we do, that we practiced for many, many weeks.
Yeah.
And the point is very much that the audience is a witness of this practice live, and that you become a witness to the process that happens through this. And actually, it is something physical we're busy with, but ideally you perceive a lot of other processes that reach into other regimes of emotions or spirituality or into imaginary levels, but that you are actually a witness of this happening right in front of your eyes, and that you actually feel and perceive that it is happening live, that it is not set, but that it is an ongoing process. This is very much the kind of centerfold. We've worked with BMC more as a tool to deepen what we do.
Yeah, the body-mind centering.
Yeah, body-mind centering. Fred, one of the dancers, is very knowledgeable in this field, so he helped us with this. But the practice is based on a fictional division of the body.
A fiction?
A fictional division.
Fiction, okay.
Division of the body. So there's no truth about it. It's just we have created a system in which we divide the body in the contents of the body, the container of the body, everything you can touch and everything you cannot touch. So these 4 layers, so to speak, they are always in interaction with each other. One of them needing the other always. And this division I use this division only because it's interesting for what it produces. And then there has been some sort of work around somatization and how you get into your body and into these different layers of the body that then I guess also creates this feeling you have of somatic body exploration.
Yeah, and I actually got that also reading what the piece was about, and etc. It's not that I see it in an obvious way, actually, but definitely you feel some kind of water. I just feel like it's something that is just really liquid, but at the same time there is always something going on. It's like there's never a moment of. It's like our body when we are alive. There is always some kind of metabolic thing going on.
We never in this piece we never ever stop moving. It's a continuous kneading.
Yeah.
And this kneading it always remains a physical kneading, so it creates a kind of continuous, a kind of repetition, but always new. Like I don't know how you would make dough, how you would make bread. You know, it has a very pumping quality, but at the same time it's never ever the same, really. So that quality was very interesting to me.
Yeah. And what about the masculinity aspect or male aspect, actually? Because I think that this is an interesting thing that, you know, it's three men, and there is, you know, and also you talk about the pumping or something. There was something about, you know, the hips and got something in the center of the body, and, you know, that gives a quality that is quite central to the piece, or something going on. But it's without going to any kind of homoerotic thing. It's more this, a little bit playful and a little bit dramatic at the same time, or desperate.
Yeah. Well, people speak about this a lot, about male expression, or about masculinity, about virility, about sex, even about homoeroticism.
Yeah.
I did not approach it in that way. At the same time, I did not say no to it.
Yeah.
So,
but the fact that there are three men as selected for the cast, you know,
that's a strong
there.
choice. Yeah. And there are three guys who are very physical guys.
Exactly.
So, for sure, there's something about that I chose, although it has not been actually articulated in a clear way. It's more something that was there as an inspiration.
Yeah.
I don't really. I saw it happening, and I didn't. I embraced it rather than dismissed it.
You didn't shy away.
Yeah.
Yes, and when was this premiere? This piece?
2010 in March 2010.
Okay. And it keeps. I imagine that it keeps growing or changing, or
Yes. I mean, for me personally, every evening is extremely different.
Yeah.
Because it's so practice-based.
Yeah.
The score there's a score about how it progresses, but within this score it's extremely open.
Yeah.
It has stabilized also to a certain degree, that we can now do it always at a certain level.
Yeah.
For instance, yesterday was not especially great for me, but people are still reacting very well. So I have there's something solid about the proposal and the piece itself.
Well, I don't know.
My pieces always display a process, I would say. A process that is also very explicit in a certain way. It can be a process that is mechanical, or it can be a process that is, I don't know what this process would be, a personal process maybe, but there's always a kind of staging of a process that an audience to a certain degree understands the parameters of. Maybe not fully, but there's something about you understand what is included in it, and the piece evolves around this process over time. I think other work.
For example, I hear you like also saying like the kneading practice. It's almost like you know, this piece is becoming some kind of center of. The piece in itself has developed its practice, or the practice developed the piece, and so I wonder how can that be related with other pieces that you make, perhaps, or that you have made. If you feel that it was some progression to this, or
there's always a. I'm very interested. I think I always keep. There's always a movement that keeps going in the pieces, and the idea of stillness is not very present in my work. It's only present in as far as it actually makes visible movement. So there can be still moments to make you see actually that it has been moving a lot. But there's always a kind of continuous tension and stretch of or for instance in needing a kind of continuous pumping that only become at the very end when we stop, it becomes very apparent that we have been actually moving the whole time.
Yes. Yeah.
And that kind of noise, that visual noise, I'm very interested in, and runs through. Sometimes you don't even think. Sometimes you don't maybe think that there is movement, but it's held in such a way that you're actually drawn to look at it.
Yeah.
And that you look at the movement in the end. So the movement is the reason why we do it. It's not that the movement is per se speaking for something else or in favor of thematics or a story or whatever. It's the point is often to look at the movement.
Yeah. Well, like